Hi everyone, I'm back with another video. At this time, this is my August reading wrap up. So, I haven't even counted. I've read 14 books in August, so not as much as last time, but August was chaos, so I will leave it at that. I was taking part in August Literature's Readathon. Usually lasts a week. I've made it last a whole month, so these all kind of run into literature prompts. So, bar the some of the Kindle reads. That's run by Steph over at Steph Loves. So, and she does literature. It's amazing. Twice a year. I did the February one, and I've done the August one now. So let's just get into it. So the first book I actually finished was Fated in Forever, which is the last book in the Nocturne Vampire Clan by L.A. McGuinness. There will be a art review popping up at some point. This is already out, so my art review is a little bit late. But this will be popping up. So I gave this 5 stars, but the art review will explain everything else. So, to start us off, you've probably fed up with me raving about this author, but I shall do it nonetheless. I read the Black Rose series Volume 1 by L.M. Morgan. L.M. Morgan, again, is a lovely woman. Her name is Laura, and she writes amazing books. You've probably heard me rave about the Invasion Day series, the Blood Slave, Tommy's Girl. Here's another one of hers. Oh, this wasn't the plan as well. I've raved about that on this channel twice. So, this is another one of her books. So I gave this one 5 stars. This is about, well, I'll read you the back. So, this is about a young girl called Kate. And she basically steps into a world where shadows dance and the boundaries between light and darkness blur. In this captivating gothic fantasy, the royal family of hell takes centre stage as Lucifer discovers how to create heirs, and it propels him into the pinnacle of power. But power always comes at a price, as both light and dark wage a relentless war. I can't speak English, apparently. The delicate balance teeters on the edge. At the heart of this tale is Kate, Lucifer's first heir, navigating her own path while grappling with her role at the side of the almighty demon himself. This was amazing. I can't read the rest of the series, but I have to go and actually buy them. So when I see her at Liverpool again, I will go and get these. So this was such an incredibly engaging story. The characters are truly immerse you in this world and the underworld. See what I did there? And the plot twists and turns so many times. I couldn't actually guess or see where this was going to end up. I can't actually wait to read the rest of the series. It was fantastic. I love me some Lucifer. I love me some demons. I'm not rephrasing that sentence. And then I kind of went off the rails a bit here. This is entirely opposite. I read Love Me Do by Lindsay Kelk. So this is a greeting card copywriter. Phoebe Chapman knows a good romantic line or two and it makes her a fantastic Cupid. So when she lands in the Hollywood Hills, a place that proves film stars, golden beaches and secret waterfalls don't just exist in the movies, can she resist playing matchmaker for her handsome neighbour, Carpenter Wren? So, I gave this 4 stars. It is a very charming romance. It is very much summery. I don't know whether you can tell by the cover. It is very much a summer romance. It does involve a lot of personal growth and healing from Phoebe's side. Not only does she find her romantic feelings for Wren, she does make some friends as well in her new environment. But the ending did not win me over like I thought it would. It was alright. It was a decent summer romance. Then I ventured Into the Cozy World of Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. So, this is about Viv the Orc, orc barbarian who's hanging up her sword and wanting to set her sights on opening her first coffee shop. Even though no one actually knows what coffee is in Fern. And she wants to realise her plans, but she needs help. So she plans to set help. I gave this 3 stars. It was okay. It was an okay fantasy. It was cosy. It had a good premise with the D&D vibes. I don't play D&D. Before anyone asks, I do not play it. I have a giant D20 dice though, like a big fluffy one. I got from an anime convention a couple of years back. When me and my ex went there. He bought me a giant D&D dice, and we were having like dual custody, but now it's sole custody. It's mine. But nothing. Anyway, sidetracked by a giant D&D dice. I'm sure you've probably seen it in a video or two. Nothing really actually happens. There is some character development in regards to strong friendships and even a slight sapphic romance, but nothing too much. It lacks plot. I'm not looking for action or anything, I'm just looking for a bit of something. This did not have a bit of something. Sadly. Then on my Kindle, I read Flawless by Alice Silver. So this is with the bull rider and the boss's, like his agent's daughter. So it's romance between them two. That's all I'm gonna say. So I gave this one 4 stars. I read this for the Steph recommendation prompt in literature. You're wondering what prompt I read Flawless for. It's a very gripping romance. I did enjoy the character development and the dynamic between the two love interests. The writing style was actually amazing and it read very smoothly. Plot, little predictable, but I enjoyed it anyway. It could have been a little bit shorter. That is my gripe with this one. It was a bit too long for me. Shorter would have been better. Other than that, I did like it. Then, I finally have read Forget Me Not by Julie Soto. So, this is about Ama Torres, who is a wedding planner. And she doesn't believe in happily ever afters, but she lands the job of her dreams which is a headline-grabbing wedding for a glamorous influencer. And her fiancé, and it's her biggest job yet. But the florist is none other than Elliot Bloom, her ex, the man whose heart she broke 2 years ago. The man she hasn't spoken to since. Can they get through the wedding without kissing or killing each other? I have to agree with Ali Hazelwood on the back. I loved every second of this. I gave this 5 stars. This has easily become one of my favourite romances of this year. Plot was very much equal to the relationship. The premise of the wedding and the florist is actually really adorable. And the third act conflict... I nearly said conclave. Third act conclave, apparently. I've not even watched anything with that in, so don't ask where that came from. The third act conflict is really, really realistic. A side note though, I actually appreciated the representation of allergies, deathly allergies, allergic reactions. It was nice actually, especially because of the use of the EpiPen, which a lot of people don't understand about that. It's got nice spread edges too. But yeah, I appreciated that bit in the good representation of allergic reactions. I myself have allergies, so Julie Soto did a good job with that one. I read One by One by Frida McFadden, which is about Claire, who they're going into the woods basically. I'm not going to give you too much. They're trying to find a cabin in a wooded area. This is not my favourite Frida McFadden book. I gave it 3 stars. It was meh, alright, but was not the best. The characters completely unlikable, all of them. Not even one singular character was likable in this. No feelings for them, even when, you know, they murder them. Not a single feeling for them there. Spoilers. The whole fact that she dislikes her husband Warner is redundant. It's tedious. It's boring. It's predictable. It's not one of my favourites. I still stand by with what I said with Ward D. That is my favourite one so far. The next one I read, I ventured back into my favourite world, my home world, the Shadowhunter universe, the Shadow World, and read Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. This is the third in the Infernal Devices, so I cannot give you a synopsis. But I gave this one 5 stars. Is anyone shocked? I don't think you are. The Love Triangle. The Perfect Love Triangle. This is a very heavy book, so I'm going to rest it like this, and it's going to glow very badly. I admire everything Cassandra Clare has ever written. I literally have a shrined shelf dedicated to her. Alright, yeah, Aziraphale, Crowley, and Scar from The Lion King sit on there. And also Ken, and a Weeping Angel, and the Barbie thing. It's mostly Cassandra Clare theme. It's got all of the books on. And this is no exception to the I Love Cassandra Clare. The epilogue was absolutely heartbreaking and soul-shattering, and it's going to be something I'm never going to forget. Yeah. Magnus Bane. I talk about him every time I review one of Cassie's books. Cassandra. I always talk about Magnus. He's a character that holds these books and this world together. And also he means so much to me that I cannot simply put into words how much I love him. And all the characters actually developed so well over this one, and I kind of wish we had some more time with some of these characters. We do see Tessa pop up in the Mortal Instruments, and I'm sure she'll pop up again. She does pop up in the Eldest Curses as well. But, yeah. I'm going to do these two together. But I have officially started the Vampire Knights manga. So I started with Volume 1. This is by Matsuri Hino. So this is about an academy which has a day class and a night class. So the students of the day class go to the dorm. They'll cross paths with the night class. And Yuki Cross and Zero Kihiru are the guardians of the school. They protect the day class from the academy's dark secret, which is the night class of vampires. And Yuki Cross has no memory of her past prior to the moment she was saved from a vampire attack 10 years ago. She gets adopted by the headmaster of Cross Academy and now works alongside Zero to guard the academy's secrets. Yuki believes that vampires and humans can coexist peacefully, but Zero has other ideas. So, I gave both volumes 4 stars. So the first one is very fast-paced, and it's a very fast-paced opening for a manga series. It's completely full of action, and I'm already loving this love triangle between these two characters. And the artwork is extremely detailed. Then for the second one, the tension and the complex emotion from each of these characters is what makes this more impressive. Still, the love triangle is absolutely fantastic. The story of this love triangle shows how each character actually matters to the story, matters to the plot, and they're all developing very well. So, I'm enjoying that manga. Then, another Kindle read was Lights Out by Navessa Allen. So this is a spicy dark romance between a trauma nurse and Josh, who posts thirst traps on like a TikTok kind of thing. It's very morally grey. So Ali and Josh actually are a great couple. Despite it being a dark romance, has all the elements like stalking, that kind of stuff, they are actually quite a healthy couple. Probably not many people would put that out there. I will. They are a healthy couple. They do have actually a healthy dynamic with each other. I love the drama though in the second half of this book. It's definitely a 4-star romance for me. There was a hint of mafia as well that surrounded Ali and her uncle, which has got me kind of intrigued into mafia romance now, so I will have a look at some mafia books. I then read Last Night at the Telegraph Club by Malinda Lo. This is set in Chinatown in America. It's in 1954. So it's got a 17-year-old girl called Lily Hu, and she can't remember exactly when the feeling took root, that desire to look, to move closer, to touch. But when it started growing, it definitely bloomed, and the moment she and Kathleen Miller walked under the flashing neon sign of a lesbian bar called the Telegraph Club, suddenly everything seemed possible. But in America in 1954 is not a safe place for two girls to fall in love, especially not in Chinatown. Red Scare paranoia threatens everyone, including Chinese Americans like Lily. With deportation looming over her father, despite his hard-won citizenship, Lily and Kath risk everything to let their love see the light of day. This, again, 5 stars. We had some actually really good books this month. It's a brilliant story. It's heartbreaking, it's uplifting, it's a story of identity and friendship. It's very well researched. It's amazing. It's especially because it's a piece of modern history that is avoided, doesn't get talked about, really spoken of, and it shows a journey of discovery of a queer identity, as well as Lily trying to find her feet with her identity as being a Chinese American, and what that actually means and what it means in the terms of the way people treat her. This was an amazing thing to read. I know it's not going to be up everyone's street, but I loved it. Then I kind of went back to my my teenagehood. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. I know, I'm going to preface this. Trans rights are human rights. There you go, I've said it. I've had these for years. I think we all know the story of Harry Potter. This has been a story I've loved for years, and I mean years. So to reread it is gonna be massive for me. So, and I am heading to the studio tour for my 21st. So, there you go. Moving on, this is a 5-star. It's just full of whimsy and magic. I just enjoy going back to these characters. Very much like the Shadow World, this is like going home. So, both of these books shaped my teenagehood. They shaped my life in high school, both of them. So, that's what it's very much like going back to. And these characters are incredible. The characters themselves have become just something else over these years. Fred and George are so much fun. Peeves as well. We've got our own little poltergeist in the house, and honestly, I might divide calling him Peeves at this point because he likes throwing things. And the issue I have is with Hermione. I hate Hermione. She's annoying and whiny, so there you go. If you wanted an insight to what I don't like in Harry Potter, it's Hermione Granger. I don't like her. She's whiny. She's awful. But I did give that 5 stars nonetheless. The last book I read in August, Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. So this is a romance. A hot one-night stand and unexpected pregnancy leads a young woman to someone she can depend on. So Winifred McNulty has always been wildly independent and not one to be coddled for her limb difference. She spent most of her life trying to prove that she can do it all on her own with some minor adjustments, and she's done just fine. Hooking up at a costume party with the incredibly charming Beau changes everything. She finds herself pregnant and decides to keep the baby. While Beau is surprisingly elated to step up to the plate, Win is unsure whether she can handle this new challenge. I gave this 3 stars. Kind of totally off kilter of what I actually expected. It's very wholesome, and it's a well-written disability representation, which finally, because you saw my rant last month on the death of an author. If you actually saw that, I do apologise. I did rant a lot about that. But hey-ho. This actually does have good disability representation, both with her limb difference and him with his. His is from cancer. Bone cancer, actually, which is quite fascinating. It was written really well, researched really well. Especially because someone like me who's had that, but I actually had it in my arm, which you're actually supposed to get it in your leg. Mine decided to float elsewhere. And also I was too young and female. So complete opposite to, you know, the exact, you're supposed to be male, older, and leg. It's really fascinating science though, for a science lesson. Why not? But I actually preferred Beau to Win. Winifred or Win, she's very overpowering with her personality. Because she doesn't want help, wants to be wildly independent, it threw me off and I didn't like it. Despite, obviously, I get wanting to be independent with a limb difference, but to me, you will need help at some point in your life. I mean, obviously, I've not got an amputation or anything. Mine's still technically a limb difference because I've got one arm shorter than the other. And also, it doesn't move like the other one. As you can see, when I'm holding up books, I can't hold it up as far as that. You can see the difference. Which is why as well when I lean down it's like slightly off kilter. But I can kind of straighten it out like that. There you go. But you get the gist of what I mean. Anyway, it just bugged me the way she acted. And it jumped in very quickly with the pregnancy thing. And the characters kind of should have got to have known. I know it's supposed to be a one-night stand, but the one-night stand, I don't have an issue with them. It just did not feel right in this. But other than that, I quite enjoyed the way it discussed things. So it's one of the better ones I've read. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this very long-winded conversation about bone cancer. Don't know why. I suppose I would go with a trigger warning in that one, so I've given you a science lesson there. Don't mind. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this read and wrap up, and I will be back with another video shortly. Bye.